Hi guys, Jurassic Junkie here, and today I shall be reviewing Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. Now this is one of them games I was a bit dubious about. Obviously Plants vs Zombies to me felt like it would just belonged on the tablet, and for them to actually go into the FPS, well even third person shooter, I was a bit sceptical, but I have to say I am shocked. So moving to the first category, and normally we would rate it on storyline, but I realised that's not going to work for every single game, so I'm changing it up and having originality and storyline. So if a game is an online shooter or an indie game and sometimes they don't have storylines, I shall be marking it on its originality instead. So this game's originality comes in at a 8. And the reason I rate it so high is because the FPS and the third person shooter market is just saturated with the same old stuff, and you just play the same thing over and over again. Whereas Plants vs Zombies has managed to inject its quirkiness, so you get the craziness and quirkiness of Plants vs Zombies, but you do have some solid game modes in here. So to start off, we've got Team Vanquish that just runs like Team Deathmatch. We've got Gardens and Graveyards, which runs pretty much like Battlefield's Rush, and we also have a standard Horde mode. And the thing is, when you're playing these games, you really can't compare them with anything else out on the market, so it does feel a fresh new idea, even though it just leans on the idea of shooting your enemy foes. So let's go to the next category then, which is graphics and art direction, and for this I'm just going to give it a solid 10. Now the reason I give it a 10 is because they've gone out to capture that quirky, crazy style feeling, and they've done that perfectly. To top that off, they've actually got a massive amount of detail in the character models. You can see all the weapons have got tiny little scratches on them, and also it boils down to simple things that when you throw smoke and somebody shoots in it, you can see a muzzle flash inside the smoke and it lights all the smoke up around it. So they spent a lot of time actually making the environment work well. The attention to detail on the map isn't brilliant, and I couldn't pick a fault at all with the graphics to say this could have been better because it just ran perfectly. So moving then to gameplay and mechanics, and for that I'm going to give it an 8. Now the thing I admire mostly about this game is how well it's been balanced. Now with most shooting games, the problem is someone will always find that overpowered weapon and just use it to their advantage all the time. Whereas with this game you get 4 types of players, and they'll go from being a heavy strong character to a character that will go from the distance, so it's a sniper style game, all the way to support and medic. At the same time you can unlock different characters for each class by progressing by buying different cards. The point still stands, the weapons feel balanced, the characters feel balanced. If somebody's doing you up, you can switch to a different character to combat them back. So I really do have to praise how balanced this game is. Now fun and entertainment, I'm going to have to give that an 8. Now the thing is that shocked me about this game is how fun I actually found it. I did expect to go in, play a few rounds and just play it with my girlfriend to keep her happy, but little did I know I was actually being drawn into it because it's such an entertaining game. Especially when you play Gardens and Graveyards and it's a case of you've got to push the enemy back and take over their capture points. And then combine that with the just ridiculously over the top character unlocks you can get to make your character look so stupid. But that's the entertainment side of it. It's so quirky and crazy, you would just be having a laugh a minute all the time while playing it. So let's bring it to the last category then, the replay factor, and for that I'm going to give it a solid 9. Now at the moment there is only 3 game modes in there, but this is a PopCap game, and PopCap seem to have a style of where they're going to be releasing DLC for free. Now they've done this twice already for Peggle, and the word is they're already working on some more DLC for the game, and they've also said that they won't be charging for it. So I am very impressed that PopCap have gone with this kind of style, where they're just going to keep releasing games and releasing content to keep it fresh and new. So yes, this game can be a bit repetitive at times, but it is addictive, which will pull you back in, and at the same time you'll be looking forward to getting free DLC every so often to keep the game fresh and new. And the last thing I want to touch on about the replay side of things is to actually be able to level up your character, you have to do challenges. Now these challenges range from killing people in different ways or just deploying certain items. Now it's a great way to force you to try your hand at each character, but at the same time it becomes incredibly addictive to find out what your next challenge is and setting off to complete it. They've definitely done a great way to bait you into the game to make you keep playing it. So over and all, when we tally in our scores, this game comes in at 8.6, and I have to say it's one of them games, if you're contemplating about getting it, do it, definitely. But this game is one of them which is so much more enjoyable if you can play as a team. So as I said at the start of this video, I went into it thinking I wasn't going to enjoy it. I have been blown away, and it's now made me have a lot more respect for PopCap. I originally see in this company somebody that just makes small tablet style games, but I've already got 2 of their games for the Xbox One already, and I have to say I've poured a ridiculous amount of time into both of them. So if you want to be able to play a game with some friends, you want it quirky and crazy, or you even have a partner or a friend that you want to kind of drag into a shooter game but they've never been willing, this is the one to start them off with. As always guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, and thank you very much for watching. Cheers guys, bye.